EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action. We welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Gott and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. The streak continues, doesn't it? They come in a perfect 10-0.
And it's not just that they're winning, it's how they're winning. All phases of the game coming together for this team.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. To return it is Corey Grant. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
A first down carry now for Miller. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down, here's Miller. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Carr. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. The numbers for Collins last week, 25 carries, 93 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Detroit! Detroit!
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. He's got his man, it's Andrews. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On the run, Darkwan. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with the reality of the whole thing, right now everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
This throw caught around the 6. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is, finish this drive off because they took it away.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Will Tye, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The field to take over. Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 right at the 30. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third down.
Could be a blitzer.
Shotgun now for Carr. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. C.J. Mosley with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play?
There goes Alex Collins. The 30, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Collins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness to it? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now 14-0. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
They begin with a run by Miller. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Jackson. Flush to his right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Hard throw, incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn. You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Oh, now he bowls him over. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's a give to Miller. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. LeGarrette Blount, 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. LeGarrette Blount, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky.
Now Jackson on second down. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Bruce Irvin, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again, we get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. The false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And complete, right side to Cook. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Wide open receiver complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Again, it's Carr. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Get down, get down. Lady.
Carl try it again on second down. Oh, some strong running. Oh, leaping, and he makes the grab. A Raider first down as Carr finds Cooper.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit.
Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they're throwing interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll begin the drive with Collins. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
On second down, here's Jackson. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now Jackson looking to throw on second down. Eluding the pressure right. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Perriman, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens will extend their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Ellington now to return it. A little juke. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And the Raiders have got him.
Well, maybe that. Can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to look deep for Perriman. It's caught at the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Perriman with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. Carr. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
After the interception, here's Jackson to the right side and complete to Hurst. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7.
Here we go now.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a time. Timeout. As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Hurry up, here we go.
To throw is Jackson. Throwing on 3rd and long. And the pressure gets to him again. Dante Fowler in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again. And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Carr now on 1st down. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. And before the 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. On 2nd down, here's Carr. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. The Raiders on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Carr. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. So we're at halftime here in the NFL. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now Darquan. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Detroit!
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through. And that's a nice job to hold him in just a couple and force a 3rd down.
False start, offense.
Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Jackson now, operating from the gun. It finds Crabtree for the completion. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Here's a 1st down run with Collins. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's a carry now for Keith Moore. Taken across midfield and into Raider territory. In on the stop, Kevin Minter.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Leopard!
Here's Darkwa. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Now a play fake here on first down. That's caught out left by Perriman. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. And even 40 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Were you as surprised as I was that they actually ran it on 2nd down there? I thought that they would go ahead and throw it in every situation here.
They've thrown for 3 touchdown passes now. Here, I think they probably go back to the air.
Yeah, I think so. But
got a man that's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Will Tye, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Here's Corey Grant now to return. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them. And not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
Yeah, he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. C.J. Mosley. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. A good return there, 17 yards. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to leave the booth.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now Marshall, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go.
To throw on second down, Jackson. Steps away to his left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now Collins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's a pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there, and you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows the offensive line's going to give him great effort, and he gives great effort himself to finish off runs.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw on second down. Jackson. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still third down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And they still need 6 yards here on third down after the penalty.
Now let's go.
Here's Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. And Perriman's got it for a Raven touchdown. Rashad Perriman, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Ravens add on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. This is fielded at the goal line. And an alley to run. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Corey Grant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Still down very big on the scoreboard, but a little feather in their cap here.
And it's a big-time play, and if you don't get energized after a kick return, well, then your team just doesn't have any spark. We'll find out if this is the start of a big comeback or just cosmetics as we go along.
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm willing to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep. Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And that is going to do it. for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll run with Darkwan, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Detroit!
They'll run with Marshall. And down to the 36-yard line here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss and give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now they'll try the right side here. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
On 2nd down, Collins. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock. He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer. Right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Get set. 185. What's it hot?
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. This one caught left side by Cooper. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Dumps it complete to Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at about the 32. This is Marshall. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this.
Jack, Patriot! Patriot! Here we go now.
And here's Marshall. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Ravens on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Jackson operating from the gun. Drops it underneath for Collins. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. What a throw right there for the 1st down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike and that big pickup.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys
I'm a
that's
little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Baltimore, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they will